And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here I am, Lucas from Mars, and today we continue with Season 2 of the 30-team connected custom franchise, as this is actually not opening day anymore. We're moving past that here. This is the second game of the regular season for the Colorado Rattlers and the San Francisco Razorbacks, as these two teams face off against one another. Eduardo Rodriguez pitching for the Rattlers. He was a big acquisition for Colorado in the offseason. He was very good last year. He's been a pretty consistent pitcher for Memphis, the Huskies, who he played with for the past few seasons, and he will be starting here in his first ever start, again in Colorado Rattler uniform. Jacob Amaya leading off here for San Francisco. He batted .275 last year, one of their better hitters, and he starts off against Rodriguez by blasting one into left field that goes all the way over the wall. My goodness, Jacob Amaya wastes zero time here in the opener. First swing of the season is a massive home run by Jacob Amaya. And Eduardo Rodriguez not too happy about that. So now we have 2 out in the inning here for Trent Gresham, who hits a fly ball into center field that is caught out there for the final out, but Eduardo Rodriguez giving up that long ball. Jacob Amaya, first swing, I think that might have been even first pitch home run by Jacob Amaya here in the top of the first. So 1-0 as we go into the bottom of the first inning, and Juan Rattlers here pitching for the Razorbacks. Last year was pretty decent, with a 3.4 ERA and 1.23 WHIP. You know, he's still a young pitcher. The Razorbacks hoping that he can turn into something pretty special here and continue to improve on his numbers last year. Now David Maldonado starts the inning off here for the Rattlers, and he just starts his day off by sending a little flyer out into left field for the out. So 1 down here in the inning. We're going to get the starting lineup look here. Alfaro Rosario, a prospect of last year, and he's going to be a rookie this season, batting second. Ramon Laureano, a big signing in the offseason, batting third. Leo Cora, rookie of the year. Baladeris, Elias Martinez, Vidal Brujan, and then there at the bottom of the order, the number 8 hitter. So here's Alfaro Rosario, a top prospect in this team's organization, a rookie this year, and entering his first day in the Rattlers uniform here as he gets a hit. I think he might have actually played a little bit last year, so that wasn't his first, and he is still rookie this year. But now you have Ramon Laureano. And besides Eduardo Rodriguez, this was the biggest signing for the Rattlers over the offseason, as he has had an incredible career here in this franchise, and last year he was incredible. 43 home runs and 115 ribbies with a .286 average last season. He was unbelievable, and hopefully he's coming over to help an offense that was just not very good last year for the Rattlers, and he's going to be able to hit a lot of home runs here in cores, you'd think. And now it's Leo Cora. Again, a beautiful rookie season from him last year. He had 24 homers, 70 RBIs, batting .270 basically. He had a great rookie season, rookie of the year, and he just flies out into right field. So this Colorado Rattlers team, you know, looking to build on a season where they actually had a winning record for the first time in this franchise. You look to build some positive momentum. They went on and they spent some money for the first time really ever in this franchise. You know, hoping that pays off, and I think this is a playoff team here. This division that they're in is not very tough, honestly. Besides the Sharks, this is not a really good division here, but you see Eduardo Rodriguez struggling early on in this game as he gives up another run on a base hit, and over to second base goes the guy who got that hit. I think that was Luis Wild, guy with the big beard there, getting a extra base single, and he moves into second on the throw. That's a strikeout, though, by Rodriguez. His first as a Rattler, but man, he's kind of struggling. 2 men in scoring position right now for San Francisco, and Jacob Amaya, who hit a home run, will fly it into center line drive, but it's caught by Laureano in center field to end the inning. So again, Rattlers is one of those teams that looking to make the playoffs for the first time ever in their history. In San Francisco is still rebuilding. They're going to be a pretty average team at best this year, I would think. But that ball, look at that, it goes away past the center field, and he couldn't handle it. All the way near the wall. Rosario's going to round second. He's going to get to third base. Wow, a single. And then going to third, I mean, it was a base hit. It should have been only a base hit, but it went past the center fielder and almost all the way to the wall. So now Vito Brujan has a runner on third base, but then he swings and misses for a strikeout by Ryan Rattlers. Man, what a pitch. And now you have Bobby Witt Jr. here batting eighth. Can he come through? Looks like he will. He's going to send a ball into the gap, and that's going to bounce off the wall, and it's going to go over it for a ground rule double. So the Rattlers do score here. They get a run. It's a 2-1 game, and the pitcher grounds out to third base. But Bobby Witt Jr., you know, he's one of those guys just kind of okay in this franchise, but he came through with a big extra base hit there. So now we're here in the top of the third inning. Rodriguez still pitching, but kind of continuing to struggle, giving up another base hit here. And now it's Trent Grisham. Full count to him is a beautiful change. Down and outside. That was a perfect off-speed pitch for the strikeout. And then Ozzie Albies, though, will fly it center field. That should be easily taken care of for the third and final out. So Rodriguez, some base runners here, but he's been able to mostly take care of things and work out of some mini jams that he's been able to have here. But in the bottom of the third inning, that is Scott Kingery looking at strike three. And then we go to Leo Core here. Strikes out as well on a low off speed, a low changeup in the dirt. And Ryan Weather is getting a couple of Ks in that third inning. So through three, still a 2-1 score. And they looking back at Leo Core swinging and missing at a pitch way down in the dirt. So guys, I'm excited to get back into recording here and back into the flow of things as it's summertime now. I have my microphone finally. It was back at home, so I have it now, though. We brought it from home, and now I can actually record, which I'm excited to do. So here we go. Eduardo Rodriguez still pitching and getting a couple of Ks there. And yes, it's against 89 hitters, but, you know, a K is a K, all the same. And he works out of the jam, getting kind of pumped up there. So through middle of four here is 6 hits given up by Rodriguez, but honestly, only given up the 2 runs so far, and he's going to get another strikeout here of Davis. And Eduardo Rodriguez with 5 of them now here in this ball game. And he really, you know, got off to that slow start, gave up a couple of runs in the first couple of innings, but he's been pretty spot on since then. Ozzie Albies, though, was going to send a ground ball into left field for a base hit, and with 66 pitches on the ledger for Rodriguez, he's got to try and get out of the inning here. Luis Lyle now, he will line one into the other part of the ballpark, into right. And now, 2 men on. Diego Cartaya, the catcher, will hit a ground ball into the outfield. That's going to load the bases. They do not try and test the man there and try and score him. And CJ Abrams, bases loaded at a little flare. That's going to fall in for a base hit and score the runner, making it 3-1. Man, that's a little tiny bloop hit. I mean, off of the inside part of the plate, and now Jacob Amaya just trying to get out of the inning. He knocks it down. Can he make the play? And he does. Oh, that was a really close play at first base. And they do get the out. San Francisco adds 1 run and 4 hits in that inning. So they are up 3-1. They got 10 hits against Eduardo Rodriguez. So not a great first start for Rodriguez, but not a terrible one either. Now we have the Rattlers trying to get some offense going themselves, as they have now loaded the bases up here with a couple of singles and nobody out. In the 6th inning, it's Olivas Martinez grounding one, and they're going to try and get a double play here. It's interesting that he didn't go home to try and get the lead runner and trying to prevent a run scoring, but they do get the double play. So Martinez an RBI, but now there's 2 down, and that's strike 3 to Vidal Brujan low in the zone. Man, nice pitch by the pitcher there, and really needed to get those couple of outs to get out of that jam. And so we go into the 7th here, and that's going to be, looks like extra bases. This could be 2, maybe even 3. Let's see what happens. They're going to stop him at second base, though. A double for Bobby Witt Jr., who's had a couple of hits in this game already. Now we go to David Maldonado, who's leading off. Ground ball, and it looks like they got to Bobby Witt Jr. to third base, and that's going to score him. So Bobby Witt Jr. going to come home on a ground out. So a couple of ground outs for runs here in this game, and the Rattlers have now tied it here at 3 apiece. Mariano now 0 for 2 in this one. Rounds it over to the second baseman, who takes care of it for the third and final out. So Mariano not doing anything here in this ball game, but man, look at the hits. 9 and 10 hits respectively tonight, but still a 3-3 tie. Full count pitch here for Diego Cartaya in the bottom and the top of the 8th, That will send us to the bottom of the 8th as Balladares taking care of it at first base for the out. So middle of the 8th here, Colorado, San Francisco tied up at 3. Big situation, bottom of the 9th, 2 down in the inning. David Maldonado up, ground ball to second, and good play. Nice pick by Luis Lyle at first base, and Ozzie Albies getting the ground out to send this ball game into extra innings. So already here, 2 games into the regular season, we have extras. 2 out here in the inning for Trent Grisham, who swings and misses. A beautiful pitch by William Argon, and a strikeout to end the inning. So middle of the 10th, the Rattlers, can they come through with a walk-off? Here's Scott Kingery striking out Simeon Woods Richardson on the mound for San Francisco here in the 10th. And that was a beautiful high fastball that Scott Kingery just could not catch up to. So here we go, now 2 down in the inning, and it's Leo Cora. Can he come through? He will find a little fly ball into the right field. That's going to be caught, though, and now we have more free baseball here for you. Into the 11th inning we go. Knotted up at 3 apiece. Albies, Lyle, then the pitcher spot for San Francisco here in this inning. And Ozzie Albies is going to swing and miss at an outside fastball. So Aragon comes in and gets a couple of Ks, and now we have Jonathan India, who's going to fly one into the deep part of the outfield. That's going to drop and go into the gap. So here comes Jonathan India with an extra base hit. Okay, well, a good swing there by Jonathan India coming off of the bench, and he's in scoring position now for C.J. Abrams, who's 3 for 4 on the game. Fly ball, deep center field, racing backwards, and it's off of the wall. That's going to score Jonathan India, and that's going to give the lead to San Francisco here in the 11th. Wow, what a swing over the head of Lariano in center. And then look at this, another bloop hit and into the corner. That's going to score the runner from second base, and they will add another run. And so San Francisco, a couple of doubles here in the 11th inning to take a 5-3 lead, and it's the bottom of the order coming through for them as a strikeout ends the inning. But in the inning, 2 runs by the Razorbacks, and now they just need 3 outs to close out this victory here in the second game of the year. Let's see. I mean, you got the kind of the middle to bottom part of the order. Felipe Duarte is a tough customer, was very good last year, one of the better young closers in the entire league, and that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to score not one, but a few runs against this guy. Luis Bazabe, a pinch hitter, in, and he pops it up right behind the plate to the catcher, who takes care of it. 1 out away now, and Felipe Duarte here going up against Vidal Brujan, who is the last line of defense and the last chance for the Rattlers in this game. And let's see it when the 1-1 is a ground ball, second base right to Albies. Takes his time, throws it to first. That's in the end of the game. And the San Francisco Razorbacks take this one here in 11 innings, 5-3. So I actually forgot the records of these teams. I forgot who won in the opener. But it might have been the first win for the Razorbacks, or it was their second win of the season. But a first extra innings game here of the year. And so a good one here between San Francisco and Colorado. A lot of hits for San Francisco. 14 hits in that game. And they ended up taking it in extras. So here we go. We're going to continue now. Memphis and Washington playing each other here in an NL East matchup between these two teams, both of whom 1-1 on the season. And there is Francisco Lindor, probably in his last year as a Rebel. I think his contract is coming up not this year, but next year, after the year after. He's signing some autographs there of young fans in the stands. And here's John Gray. very good last year, actually. A career season for him last year. Almost 200 innings and a very good 3.29 ERA. So he will face off against a Washington lineup that's just not that great. That's a swing and a miss and a strikeout here of Jon Gray. It's a decent lineup. They have Vladdy, they have they have Lindor, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., just one of the best hitters in all of baseball. Had 38 home runs and 103 ribbies last year. He's just simply one of the best in real life and in this game. And he's not an emerging superstar anymore in this franchise. He is an established superstar. And he lines out, though, to get the ball game started here after the end of the top of the first inning. So we go to the bottom half, and Dylan File on the mound for Washington. Just not a very good pitcher here, and this is the issue with the Rebels. They do not have good pitching right now. Their pitching staff is pretty dang bad. They have Jack Flaherty and they have Yamamoto, but that's it on their pitching staff. It's just not very good. And that ball is driven out very deep and leaping at the wall, trying to catch it, and he could not bring it back as it bounces off the wall. Colin Moran gets that RBI double, and now we have Matt Olson. 1-2 pitch is a little flare. That might drop, and it will, into the outfield. They're going to send Moran, who's only got 22 speed, but that is an offline throw, and the left fielder tried to he just didn't really field the ball very well, and that was very interesting because I did not expect a run to score on that little dinky hit right there, but it did, and Memphis strikes first here tonight, and they get a run in the first inning in this one. So a couple of hits in that inning, and they have the 1-2 lead as we have Stan Stewart and Rodriguez up for Washington here in the second. So there's Julio Rodriguez, who had 30 home runs last year, and he will swing and miss there on that pitch. And that was a good one there. Now the count going up to 1-2. So Jon Gray, here it comes. That 1-2 pitch is a little tiny chopper. That's going to be, did he strike out? Actually, yes, he did. I think, yeah, he swung and missed, and the catcher dropped the baseball. I think that's what happened on that play. Kind of confused because it looked like a foul ball almost, but it was not. And so that's a strikeout. Now, Amias Arnaman looking at a fastball there at 94 by Dylan File. A strikeout there. His first of the game and the first of the season for him. And, the thing about this team here is just the lineup for this ball club is just not very good, as that's been the issue for Memphis for really a while, almost the entire time in this franchise. They just don't really have the offense to be a super competitive team most of the time. But Matt Chappelle strikes out there. Matt Chappelle was a rookie catcher last year, was pretty decent, had an alright rookie year, not anything super spectacular, but he does strike out there. So now you got Jordan Gorshanks, who is a rookie here, coming up to the plate for Washington. He already has a home run in the young season, so he's a guy that's very defensive heavy, but he finds a little crease to drop that ball in fair. My goodness, what a little dinky hit that was. And he will make it to second there. That was a strong bunt that was hit, bunted very hard, but it ended up working out as Lindor takes a walk. So ball 4, 2 men on base here for the number 2 man, and Javier Valdez. Can he come through with 2 men on? And he pops it up. First base side in foul territory, and Olson is there to make the grab and end the top of the third inning. So, all right, they don't get anything there in that inning. They do get a hit and a runner on, but we move on to the top of the fourth here with 2 down. And a great stop. Oh, wow, what a play by Matt Olson. The bat has been kind of disappointing from him, especially last year. Just didn't really perform well offensively, but, man, that defense is really, really good. He's still got a great glove there at first base, and he makes that play look easy. A spectacular play, though, by Matt Olson. So now here we are in the bottom of the fourth. A 1-2 pitch to Yelich is strike 3 called on a curveball. And there is 1 down. So, alright, here we go. Matt Olson with the 2-2 count now, and he swings and misses at a low change by Dylan File, and quickly now 4 strikeouts in this game. And how about 5? How about number 5 there, and another nasty off-speed pitch. He's kind of got those off-speed pitches working so far tonight, doesn't he? And a brilliant couple of Ks there, and a brilliant inning there. So we go to the top of the 5th here, and both of these pitchers have officially settled in this game at this point, I'm pretty sure, as that's another strikeout for John Gray there of Julio Rodriguez. His 3rd of the night, and then he gets Dylan File looking at a high slider. And again, it's the pitcher, but a strikeout is a strikeout, and now middle of the 5th. Dylan File really upset about that one, it looks like, but man, middle of the 5th now, halfway home, and these pitchers are really, really settled in. Dylan File has been really, really good in the last few innings, and nothing going right now for these hitters at all, as that's a strikeout by Ricky Seymour. And these hitters just floundering at the plate right now. And here we have Francisco Lindor swinging and missing at a changeup. That's a curveball, actually, and John Gray's 5th strikeout of the afternoon. And so, man, we're just seeing some really ugly swings here from these hitters. So we were in the top of the 6th already. This game is going by super quick. Man on first for Stanton, who flies one. Whoa, and it's caught. Bouncing against the wall there is Christian Yelich. That was a really, really good play there. That ball could have easily bounded off the wall, and he takes the punishment of running into the wall and bouncing right off of it there. As we are through the top of the 6th inning now, and still 1-0 to score. So here is Eli Jimenez, man on first here, full count, and it's just low by Shane McClanahan, and now base 2 men on, nobody out for Yelich, who just made that great play, and he will strike out though on an inside changeup from McClanahan. Now 1 down in the inning. Now it's Matt Olson, 1 for 2 in the afternoon. He flies a little flare into center field. Wow, what a play! Great stop, Julio Rodriguez laying out for it in the center field. A perfectly timed dive and a slide. Wow, that was a great play. Great positioning there by Rodriguez. And then the next hitter, though, lining it into the outfield, the base hit, but they do not attempt to try and score the runner there. And they hold him at 3rd. And just under the glove of the first baseman. Bases loaded. Aramis Armand, he pops it up right back to the catcher, who will take care of it for the out. So, man, they load up the bases. They have a chance, really good chance, to extend their 1-0 lead, and they cannot do it. So we are already in the 7th inning in this ball game here, and it's still 1-0. DJ Stewart will start the inning off. He's 0 for 2 on the ball game so far. John Gray still pitching for Memphis, and he swings, absolutely crushes one. Stewart has tied it. Solo shot by Stewart, and it's 1-1 here in the 7th inning. Wow, and a high pitch. Stewart knew it. He hops out of the box. Absolutely crushes it. Man, he's such a good hitter, such a dangerous hitter there, and Stewart, and that was a monster hit to lead off the 7th inning. And a double switch will end the night for John Gray, who pitched 6 really, really solid innings, but unfortunately will not get credit for a win in this one, and will have a no decision for this first start of the season for him. And you get Mike Becker, who gave up a run in his first inning of the season, and he strikes out Jordan Groshanks there on a low and inside pitch for the 2nd out of the 7th. And yeah, Groshanks just no chance really on that pitch. A really good one there from him. And now Lindor with 2 men on base. Grounder, first baseman, passing it over to the pitcher, who steps on the bag for the out. But man, Jonathan Stewart getting that big, massive home run to make it 1-1 here in the 7th inning stretch in this ball game. So we go now here to Sal Romano entering the game for Memphis. 2 innings, no runs, 0 ERA. Top of the 8th here in this ball game, as now we have Javier Valdez leading off the 8th inning. Pitch to him, and it's a base hit into left field by Valdez. So we got a base runner here now for Memphis. A 6-game hitting streak for Javier Valdez dating back to last year. And now Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is 1 for 3 tonight. Lifts one, a little blooper that falls in for a base hit right in front of Christian Yelich. And now 2 men on here. Giancarlo Stanton now is 0 for 3. He looks like he might be due for something. 1-1 to him is a fly ball. That's deep. Racing on it at the wall. This one has a chance, and it's gone! Over the wall, Giancarlo with a 3-run blast. And how about Washington? They tie the game in the 7th, and a 3-run homer gives them the lead here in the 8th. So, man, they come all the way back here. And even at 39 years old, Giancarlo Stanton still hitting long balls. As that age, he's very old. He's an old man at this point, but he's got old man power and can still lift a ball over the wall. Not sure if that one was going to go out for a while, but it does just get over the fence. And so now 2 down here, 0-2. Julio Rodriguez will swing and miss at a slider outside the zone. That's the first strikeout for Moreno in a 0 for 3 game for him. And Goshanks will look like 1 for 3 night for him as he grounds out to the shortstop. But man, Memphis, you got to get the offense going. Where is it? It hasn't shown up really at all yet tonight. As middle of the 8th inning here, and man, a huge hit. Now you're down by 3 runs after the Giancarlo bomb. So again, this is what I'm talking about with the Memphis Huskies, and the reason they probably will struggle this year is just the offense is just not going to be there for them. Their pitching is good enough to kind of keep them in a lot of these games, but now facing Aaron Fletcher, who had a great season in 70 innings last year for him. And now 0-2 pitch to Cormoran. 2 for 3 on the night, and he swings and misses at an outside fastball. Only a 92, but it's fast enough for him to not be able to catch up. And then Eli Jimenez. Oh, my word. That was one of the worst swings that I've seen from a guy that is that good. Geez, way inside, and it made Eli Jimenez look absolutely silly on that pitch. No chance. So now Christian Yelich 0 for 2 will send a ball in the outfield, and it's a little flip. There's nobody there. The nearest outfielder is about 20 feet away from that baseball, and oh my, that should have been a normal little flare and a flyout probably, but it ends up being a double because of the shift. So now can Matt Olson try and score this run or make it a close game? You got to try and get at least one back here before you go into the 9th, and that might fall. Yes, it will. That is going to fall, and that's going to score Yelich. So they do get a run. And a clutch double right there by Matt Olson. You got to getting at least one run there, and that situation in the 8th was super important, but a strikeout does end the frame. And end of the 8th here, we're going to just head right into the 9th. Memphis down by 2. They got to get 3 runs here. Can their offense somehow muster it here? As we have Ademan, who is 0 for 3 in this ball game so far, and a 2 for 2 pitch to him, and he is going to be 0 for 4. Bryton Martin throwing an outside slider for the strikeout, and I believe that's at least his 2nd of the game, and now 2 down in the inning. Can Ricky Seymour do anything? Last chance, swing and a miss on a high fastball. Strike 3. Bryton Martin ends the game, and Washington wins. So they take their 2nd victory of the year, and they are above 500 here on the season. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the whole entire infield shaking hands there. So we got a huge day. Giancarlo Stanton with that 3-run home run in the 8th. And guys, thank you so much for watching. You've been listening to Lucas from Mars. Have a great day, everybody.